Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show. It's Tuesday. I'm Peter Martin. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. In the studio with me, Alan Ruff and Hugh MacDonald of the Daily Mail, here to talk football as always.
Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to Peter and Ruffy's Football Show. It's Tuesday. I'm Peter Martin. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. In the studio with me, Alan Ruff and Hugh MacDonald of the Daily Mail, here to talk football as always. Yeah, let's start by congratulating Scotland's women after a 1-1 with Chile. They managed to come up with a stunning 1-0 victory over Brazil. Every friendly is a confidence booster on the way to Paris, and I think the girls deserve tremendous credit the way they played, and of course Kim Little popped up with the winner.
Yeah, they seem to get more and more professional. The bigger the games they play, the better they seem to be getting. And more importantly, they're getting results. And if you're going into a big tournament, you want to go into a tournament winning with confidence and get into. I think they've got another home game, haven't they, before they go? I really do hope they get a good turnout for that. It'd be good to give them a good send-off if there's a good crowd at the game, and just send them away on a winning run.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good if you peak at the right time. And again, you know, it's not often we can celebrate Scotland winning against Brazil, if at all.
If at all. First time. I mean, the Scottish men's team's never done it, Ruffy. I don't know if you've ever been involved in any of those games. I don't think so. But yeah, I think it's important at the moment because while we're all going rightly about Brazil as being, a top football country, what Scotland's got in front of them in Nice in the summer is really pretty formidable, particularly in the shape of Japan and England. You know, so they really need to be honed and strong going forward because it's a huge task they've got coming up. But good signs and more signs that Shelley's got our squad just about right as well.
Yeah, let me remind you, I think it was a hot night in Seville, Ruffy. Zico scored the first one past you. And then, if I'm right, I can think of the other two goal scorers, obviously Adair, because it was such a great chip. The other guy who scored against you was Falcao?
No, I think it was Socrates. I think he just strolled forward and just curled one into the corner.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, and the other one after that?
One was for a corner. I'm not sure who that was. I had sort of a lost concentration by that time.
Yeah, he was running out of fingers.
So had we, and we were just sitting in a living room sobbing. But well done to Shelley Kerr and the girls. You know, it's something to be proud of, and of course it gives us great confidence as we head towards the World Cup. Fingers crossed. Over and above that, switching to the men's game, there seems to be a fair bit of money going on week to week on potentially a new Celtic manager. They're talking about Roberto Martinez, odds-on favourite. Now, the odds-on favourite maybe 3 hours ago was Andre Villas-Boas.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty volatile market. What I'm hearing is that no decision has been made. I'm also thinking that what's going to happen is Celtic are in a more than decent position because they've got Neil Lennon in situ, so they can look at what's out there. You know, they can do their due diligence and look at what's out there, always knowing they've got to fall back on Neil Lennon. I find the Martinez one strange because I know, yes, that he's been linked strongly and correctly with Celtic in the past, but I would find it strange him leaving this summer rather than next summer, I think, because if he wins the European Championships with Belgium, which is not impossible, you know, it'll be a tough task, but it's not impossible he wins that, he's then talking about his picker jobs. He's then talking about jobs in one of the top 5 leagues. And he's, whatever else is, he's a smart guy, but there is a strong whisper about him on the streets at the moment.
Yeah, okay. It might be one of the candidates we've been talking about. Could also be Neil Lennon if he gets himself in the box seat and delivers the treble for Celtic with the Scottish Cup and the league. Give us your thoughts on that across social media, on YouTube, on Facebook, and of course on Twitter as well. Just one little footnote to it all. Ruffy, it looks as if Dedrick Boyata has looked towards the German Bundesliga for his future.
Yeah, I think early on this season, I think he indicated that he was going to leave. I think him and his agent had made up their mind. I think he thought he had a wonderful big competition there, and he was going to demand, you know, bigger clubs than Hertha Berlin. But that's not the case. So I think it's all about money now. I mean, I don't know what wages he's on with Celtic, but certainly if they're offering that kind of money, that's what players are into now. They're taking the security as well and moving on, which is unfortunate. You know, I know you're not a massive fan of him, but I think he's okay.
Yeah, listen, I mean, he's okay at a certain level, Ruffy. I just don't think he's as good as maybe he thinks he is. I don't
Van Dijk's not as good as
but I don't
Boyata
think Celtic fans are looking and thinking, oh, Boyata's gone, you know, the world's caving in.
No, I think if you look around the cold light of day, should he have been allowed to go last year in the summer? Economically, absolutely yes, because Celtic have lost anything from £8 million upwards on him. But he couldn't go politically because Dembele was going that day. So Celtic were kind of trapped into keeping him. Good on him because he now negotiates a contract with no transfer fee and gets top wages.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, from there, we talk about some unsavoury incidents along the way. We seem to be living in an environment now, Ruffy, where everybody wants somebody given a right kicking, you know, if it's on social media, or indeed they want them hauled up and fined or disciplined. Joe Worrell, the latest for maybe an ill-advised statement on social media, but, you know, he's been at a Rangers Player of the Year where Alfredo Morelos scooped up three awards. Maybe it's not the right message to be sending out there. You know, I think players, the PFA work really, really hard at advising players on how to use social media and how to avoid getting caught, you know, just saying things they shouldn't.
Yeah, not only the PFA, but I mean the clubs themselves have come out and had meetings with their players and said, look, this is the situation you can get into. And we've had 2 or 3 other players falling into the trap as well. But yeah, I think nowadays you have to watch what you're saying. And I don't think this is a massive, you know,
I've heard worse.
Yeah, and but so, you know, I think it's a lesson learned. I'm sure Steven Gerrard will have a word with him and say, look, here, this is it. You know, I don't want to see any more of this.
It's old sparkling stuff allied to social media. It's not a wise combination for any of us, but certainly not for a footballer.
Yeah, and over and above that, Marvin Bartley's also highlighted again. You know, abuse that it just seems to be. You know, this gathering storm, if it's not throwing coke in us, if it's not abusing players, if it's not attacking players, it just seems to be going on day by day by day. It's demoralising, Hugh.
It is, and it is gaining a momentum now, which is very distressing and very dispiriting as well. You know, because there just seems to be an incident, and because there's been incidents before, it just adds to the general kind of
as well.